Today we're going to talk about how to improve your cold emails with video email messages. The agenda today is what we are talking about when we refer to video email messages, why use video email as part of your cold email strategy and cold email messages, how to use video email, and what to say in your video email messages. I mean, you could think this is all great. You could start using a video email tool, but what are you saying? That's going to be a key thing that is going to be key to your success, and it's also something that you could walk away from this and say, this is great, I want to use video email, but I don't know what to say. We will give you complete clarity or some ideas of what you can say in your video email messages here today. And so just to start out, really, what are we talking about when we refer to video email messages? I want to actually just explain that by sharing a story with you. And let me actually flip over to my LinkedIn account real quick. This is actually my personal LinkedIn account. And I want to share actually a story with you about a video email message that I received from a salesperson. A little bit of background. I'm fairly liberal in terms of how I accept connection invitation requests, meaning if anybody who sends me an invitation connection request on LinkedIn, I pretty much accept. So if you're out there, look me up on LinkedIn and send me a connection request. Without getting into why I just accept any connection requests, one of the downsides to that is that I get a lot of incoming from salespeople trying to sell something. Just about every day I get cold email messages, and I would say it's 95% product selling salespeople and product selling cold email messages. What I mean by that is that these are salespeople that are going out and they are selling by saying, this is what I sell, do you need what I sell? And their emails basically align with that type of approach. Hi, thank you for connecting. This is what I sell. Do you need what I sell? Can I schedule a meeting with you to try to sell what I sell to you and to get you to buy what I sell? Now, I've talked about why that's not optimum in a number of other webinars, and you can go to our YouTube channel to learn more about why you should not do that and what you can do instead of that. We'll talk a little bit about that here today when we talk about what you can say in your video email messages. But the reason why I bring that up is that every day when I log into LinkedIn, I delete between 5 to 10 cold email messages, pretty much with what I call instant deletes. Instant delete is you barely read the email and you delete it. And I do that every day. Where I'm going with this is one day I received a cold email from a recent connection that was a video email message, and this is it right here. What you can see here, the way most video email tools work is that it's some sort of tool that makes it easy for you to record a message and then embed that message into your email. And when you embed the message into your email, most tools out there that do this, they display part of your message as kind of a GIF. So like you can see here, there's a preview of my message playing. This is a video email. It's using a tool to send a recorded message instead of a written message, and most tools out there present it in this type of format. With all that being said, why would you want to use a tool like this? And I just want to summarize what I experienced with using this as a potential prospect. So when I opened this message in LinkedIn, which as I mentioned, by the way, every day on LinkedIn, I delete 5 to 10 messages that are considered instant deletes. I delete them without really caring too much. Most of the messages I find as being somewhat pesky. It's people pushing their products on me, and I hit delete with zero remorse. Now, when I saw this video email, I could tell from the preview that he recorded a message specifically for me. This was not a copy and paste, and it was obvious that there was some level of effort that he put into this. Of course, when you receive most cold messages, you might think that there was a little bit of effort, but with a lot of cold messages, they look just like a copy and paste, could even be a mass email, so you don't feel real bad at all. When you see the video email, you feel like, okay, this guy or this girl, they spent a little bit of their time recording this. I will feel like a total jerk if they turned on their camera, talked to their camera with a personal message just for me, and I'm not even going to listen to it. I can't do that. Let me listen to the message. I think that video email creates a higher level of obligation for your prospect to click the link, to read the email, to hear the message. Now, as I'm listening to this video email, it truly is a deeper level of connection being established. I'm hearing his voice, I see what he looks like. This is a totally different experience from me reading written words that are typed out. So it's immediately establishing a more of a connection. I'm also kind of feeling more level of trust and rapport. Instead of him just doing a copy paste mass email, he took his valuable time to record this message, and so I feel some sort of rapport being generated, and maybe I feel like I trust him a little bit more. The other thing with video email is that it makes it easier for you to share more information. One thing that I've talked about in a lot of webinars on cold emailing is that you should really watch the word count on your cold emails. You need to look at it like you're packing a bag for a 2-week vacation, and you really need to think about, do I really need that extra pair of shoes, or can I get by? That's how you should look at every word in your cold emails, because the longer your email is, the quicker it will get deleted. The nice thing about video email is that you don't really need to worry about that too much, and it's just quicker. Like, you could look at a long email that would take a minute to read, and that will get deleted a lot quicker than it would take for someone to stop listening to a minute-long video. So the point there is you can deliver a lot more information through video email. And as you know, as a salesperson, there's so much information you want to share with your prospects, and obviously you have a great story to tell, and that can be extremely difficult when you need to only just say a few sentences in a cold email. Video email can help you with that. The other thing is relating to the amount of information that you can share. I believe it's more likely that the prospect will hear more of what you have to say. If they do start to read your cold email, you're going to lose them. If it's a long thing that you're trying to explain, a lot of details you're getting into, you can share a longer set of bullet points in a video email, and your prospect's more likely to hear them out than they would if it's a written message. So now let's think about how can we use this additional tool, this additional form of media to communicate to your prospect. Well, the first thing is you need to start using a particular video email tool. Now, one company that we've partnered with is a company called Potion. And so they provide a Chrome extension. And just to show you this real quick. So I just have this up. So here's an email. I'll just send an email to myself, actually. And I'll show you what this looks like. So once you've installed their Chrome extension, you'll see this button. This is basically the Potion extension. So if I click this, then I'm taken to this landing page where I can then record a video email message. So I'm going to send I'm just going to record this while I'm explaining it to you, but you basically can click record, and right now it's recording. So I'm recording my message. Hello, Mr. or Mrs. Prospect. This is Michael Halper with Sales Scripter. Would love to talk to you. By the way, I'm going to explain what you could say in this video message in a minute. So let's just say that my message is done. I can click stop, and I can click save. And what you can see here is that video message is then displayed. I'm just going to send this to myself. You can include some text here. So I'm just going to send this to myself. And what you can see is, so when you open your email, this plays similar to what I was showing you in LinkedIn, a little GIF. Nice thing about the GIF is it makes it a little enticing. You can see the video kind of playing versus some sort of link, a link to my message or some sort of static image. Now, if I go back to LinkedIn, I want to just show you, it could very well be the case that you don't use Gmail for your inbox, right? So And maybe whether you do use Gmail or not, it's very likely the case that you might use LinkedIn for your prospecting. So you can actually use this particular video email through your LinkedIn account as well. So I'm going to just send this contact a video email. So you can see here, this is Potion right here. So it displays directly in LinkedIn. So if I click this, again, it takes me to that page where I can create this. Hey, hope you're doing well. Demoing Potion. Look forward to talking to you soon. And I can hit stop there. And if I hit save, I'll just show you it dumps this into my LinkedIn. So what you can see here is it's dumping this URL here, but if I actually hit send, then it will actually show as that thumbnail. So just want to show you that integration. So that is just it for Potion. It's a tool, it's free, check it out. And there is a link for you to get more information on that. Now, I do want to provide a few tips for using and incorporating video email. Now, one thing is that I mentioned to you a lot of salespeople that I connect with on LinkedIn, they're in product selling mode, and they usually send me a cold email that has a product selling message, which sounds something like, hey, this is who I work for, this is what we provide, this is what I sell. I'd like to schedule a meeting with you, or do you need what I sell? First tip I want to give you regarding cold video email is to not sell the product, resist that natural instinct, that natural desire, and instead sell the meeting. So the first thing you're going to do when you turn on this camera is you're going to think, hey, great, another way for me to communicate to my prospect and for me to describe what I sell and try to make them interested in buying from me. Do not do that. Instead, use that time and that media and that video to sell the meeting. Sell the prospect on why they should talk to you. And that's what the goal is here in this visual here, is that if you go through these 3 steps, initial contact, the next step is a meeting, and the next step after that would be maybe a presentation of what you have to sell. And then after that, you actually sell the product. Resist that desire and focus instead on selling the meeting. And when we talk about what you can say in your video emails, we will talk about how you can focus on selling that meeting. The other thing that I want you to keep in mind is that certainly you could use a video email tool, create one video email for a prospect, send that, and then stop, and hope that they reply or hope that you catch something. What I would tell you is whether you're using video email or just traditional email, use more of a multi-touch approach. Not only try to communicate with the prospect in more than one way, but also try to reach out to them with more than one attempt. And so to give you an idea what this might look like, so if you start with, the first step is you send your video email. Now, a lot of salespeople that use video email, they might just stop there. And if you stop there, maybe you'll get some responses. Maybe you might get more responses than you would with a traditional cold email. That's great. But why stop there? So what you can do after that is, after you send your video email, call the prospect. Give them a call. And if you cannot get them on the phone, leave a voicemail message. So you're sending a video email, then you're calling them, then you leave a voicemail message. After you leave a voicemail message, send a voicemail follow-up email. And after you do that, you can pause. By the way, you may have some ideas of what to say at those 3 different places. When we get to what to say in your video email, we will actually provide what you can say in all 3 of those, and they actually can be aligned. So we'll talk about that in a minute here. So you could stop here. Maybe this is enough for you. You gave it a good attempt. You try to reach them 3 times, see what happens. My advice would be, don't stop there. If you really want to get a hold of this prospect, you can continue. And what you could continue with is you could just do that exact same process again. We would call this a prospecting cadence. And in our prospecting cadence that we teach, this would be round 2. And so it's with a second video email, call them again, leave a voicemail follow-up email, pause. I would pause in each of these rounds for maybe a week. Now, you could stop there, or you could continue with round 3. Another video email, and then repeat again all 3 of those steps, and then even round 4. Now, this may sound like a lot, and you might not want to do all of this, but one thing I want to point out is that you may look at this and you may think, what am I going to say in these different video email messages? I'm just going to say the same thing. And the thing is that if you're a product selling salesperson where you're emailing prospects and either written or video and you're leaving voicemail messages, most of what you're saying is, this is who I work for, this is what I sell, do you need what I sell? Now, if you're doing that, then you will not have anything else to say in video email 2, video email 3, video email 4. And by the way, that's where most salespeople end up with email number 2. They end up saying, did you get my last message? I get that a lot when I'm instantly deleting those emails every day on LinkedIn. When I don't reply to their first email, the product selling salespeople email me number 2 with the message of, did you see my last email? And I think that's horrible for a few reasons. One is you're calling out your prospect and saying, did you perform the task that I sent you, which was to read my email? Anyways, the reason why salespeople do that is because they don't have anything else to say when you're in product selling mode. You've already mentioned what you sell, and you've already asked if they need what you sell. They didn't reply. You're emailing them again. So all you have to say is, did you see my last message? Well, with the approach that I'm going to show you in a minute, you'll have something different for each round. And let's get to that right now. So you may, in some instances, you may have a prospect that you use video email for that you have something very specific to say. And in that case, that's probably not a cold prospect. So let's say they sent an email asking for a free trial, or they sent an email asking a question about pricing. Well, in that case, you could send a video email that says, hey, got your question, let me explain how it works. We have this price for this and this price for that. That's really a great thing to send using video email. You can really get into all the details there. Now, that's not a cold email. So in a lot of cases with a cold email, since it's cold, you really don't have anything specific to say. So you might struggle with, what am I going to say to this person? So, and that's where you end up talking about your product and your company. I'm going to show you a process that allows you to figure out what you can say in all those different video email messages. And so I'm going to take you through a few steps to build your message, okay? It starts with your product. Now, I kind of pointed out already that I don't want you to be a product selling, a product pushing salesperson ever, much less in your cold emails or your video emails. But this process I'm going to show you does start with your product. So you start with your product and say, okay, well, what is it that I sell? So I'm going to go through this process. I'm going to use an example product of web design services. So it's something that just about all of us can relate to. We all know what a website is. So let's say that you sell website design, and that includes building websites, making changes, whatnot. So the next step in the process is, once you've kind of outlined what you sell, I want you to kind of push yourself to get a little more creative and take a step back. It's real easy for you to talk about what you sell, but now let's try to think about, what is the value that what you sell offers? And this may be difficult for you because you may think, well, what do you mean? What is the value? I don't know what the value is. It's just what I sell. It does what it does. And it's real easy for you to talk about what it does. Even like with websites, you may say, well, I build websites. A website is a web page, and I build it. Either they have one and I redo it, or they don't have one and I build them something, and it's pretty self-explanatory. Well, if you just stop there, you're discounting what you sell, because in most cases what you sell delivers some sort of value. It creates some sort of improvement. So if you provide web design services, you do all these great things, like you improve the design, you improve the traffic, you improve conversion rates, you improve search engine optimization, you help them to generate more leads online, you help them to increase revenue. That's all really good stuff. And so I really want to push you to kind of say, well, when I provide this service, what does that improve for my prospect? And you shouldn't stop there. You could take it one step further to think about, well, when I deliver those improvements, what are some problems or pain points or challenges that I help make go away? And if I ask you what pain points you solve, you could very likely throw 2 or 3 out at me. You could say, oh, we fix this and that. Okay, that's great. Well, one process that you could use is you could look at all your benefits, and usually for each benefit, there's an opposite pain point that goes away. For example, not looking at this particular example, but let's say you sell something that helps someone to sleep better at night. Maybe it's a pill, maybe it's a pillow, maybe it's a vitamin. But if you help someone to sleep better at night, the product is what you give them, what you sell to them. The improvement is sleep better at night. Well, if you help someone to sleep better at night, what is the problem that goes away? Well, the problem is tossing and turning. So sleep better at night, the opposite of sleep better at night is tossing and turning. So for each benefit, you can usually find an opposite, inversely correlated pain point, and you can just go down each benefit. For each benefit, you can come up with, okay, what is the opposite of that? What problems go away when I make that improvement? And so here are a list of pain points for this demo product, which is website not performing well, not producing results, not converting, not in, traffic isn't what it needs to be, not getting search engine up traffic, difficult to generate, not generating leads, not able to get enough revenue out of the website. So those are all challenges. And from that, we can go one step further to think of a customer example. And you could also use your benefits to think of a customer example. So look at your benefits and your value points and say, well, is there a customer that realized some of those benefits? And you could come up with, here's a fictional name drop, that we help Bob's Biz to modernize their website. We did this by redoing their website and website development services. This helped them to increase their website traffic, conversion rates, and online sales. So what we've done here is we've built your sales message. And this is just part of it, but we've gone through this process to build your sales message. And we've actually created what we would call building blocks. So you have a product building block, a value building block, a pain building block, and a name drop building block. And we can use these building blocks to create all sorts of different sales scripts. We could use these building blocks to create your cold call script, because we can start out with your value and lead to your pain points and share a customer example. And we can use these building blocks to create cold email messages. And we can use these building blocks to create video email messages. So I'm going to show you 4 video email messages that you could use once you go through that process. So here's a video email message. So, let's say I go to Potion, I click on record. Hey Tom, this is Michael Halper calling from XYZ Corp. The reason why I'm reaching out is that we help businesses to improve the design, traffic, and conversion rates for their website. We help them to get more leads through search engine optimization, basically increase the amount of revenue that they're able to generate through their website. I don't know if you want to improve any of those areas, but that's why I'm reaching out. It would be great to have a brief conversation with you where I can share some examples of how we've helped other businesses to improve the design, traffic, and conversion rates for their websites. Let me know if you're interested in putting a brief call in the calendar. I know it might not be something that you're looking at doing today, and that's okay. We're just looking at starting the dialogue between our two companies. Thanks for listening to this message, and I look forward to possibly talking to you soon. Click, save, embed that into your email message on LinkedIn or traditional email, and fire it away at your prospect. So a few things here. One is that's not a product pushing message. It's focusing on the benefits that you have to offer. By the way, after the benefits, I do a small little takeaway, which is, I don't know if you want to improve those areas or not, and that's why I'm reaching out. So that's a soft takeaway. So I give them something enticing, which is all these improvements. I take it away to say, hey, I don't know if you need it or not. Then I focus on selling the meeting, not selling the product. So I'm not saying, do you guys need a new website? Yes, no. I'm saying it would be great to have a brief conversation, and I know that you might not be making a change today, but that's okay, just looking to start the conversation and whatnot. So maybe you like that. Maybe you can use some of that and build on some of that for your own video email messages. We can use that same exact flow and just change it using our pain points. So here's the same exact email, and I'm not going to read it, but it's the exact same flow, but instead of talking about improvements, we talk about the different pain points and challenges that we help to make go away. I don't know if you're concerned about any of those areas. It'd be great to have a brief conversation. So this is designed to be a standalone video email message. If you were sending this as video email message number 2, you could of course have a bit of a transition in the beginning, which is sent you a message last week. Don't know if you had a chance to see it, but again, the reason why I'm reaching out is we work with small businesses and help them with challenges of blah, blah, blah. I showed you how we could create a name drop example, so we can use your name drop for video email message number 3. Hey, the reason why I'm reaching out is we worked with Bob's Biz and helped them to modernize their website and web store. We did this by providing our web design and development services. This ultimately helped them to increase their website traffic, conversion rate, and online sales. I don't know if we can help you in the same way, and that's why I'm reaching out. It'd be great to have a brief conversation. So, and the rest of it kind of is the exact same as the other video emails. That's video message number 3. Let's say you're still just really continuing with your cadence and going to send video message number 4. Now we start to get to the product. So I mentioned to you that all the messages I delete on LinkedIn are all, those are all message number 1 from salespeople, and they're all product selling messages. So at least with this approach, you're not getting to your product message until your 4th attempt. So it's really, you're really delaying that that type of message. But at this point, if they haven't replied, just try to, give your product message a shot. And at least our product message, we at least try to make it a little bit more sophisticated. We try to focus on some differentiation. So it looks something like this. Hey, the reason why I'm reaching out is we provide web design services, and that basically includes website redesign, graphic design, content development. Some ways we differ from other web design firms out there is that we're experts in building websites for the plumbing industry. We have a proprietary integration connection for plumbing store software. We have a website conversion improvement guarantee. I just made those up, but can just see there, that's where you can plug in your key differentiation. I don't know if you're a good fit with what we provide, but that's why I'm reaching out. It'd be great to have a brief conversation. The rest of it's kind of the same. So those are all, there's 4 messages there that you can extract from that brainstorming process of building your building blocks. And I do want to show you, I showed you that you should hit the prospect in multiple ways. You should call them. Let me just show you here. This is actually Sales Scripter. So in Sales Scripter, what Sales Scripter does is it actually gives you a place to build out your message. And you saw where I went through that workflow of mapping out what I sell, the benefits, the pain points, and whatnot, the name drop. This is the sales message builder of Sales Scripter, and this is the software basically takes you through the workflow. This is actually the workflow. I went through the workflow with the web design, so you can see here all these bullet points here are all with what I was just showing you. Okay, so what I want to show you real quick, because I just showed you video email messages, but I also said that you should also call the prospect. And so you may say, well, okay, video email, that's easy. I'll record a 2-minute video, send it, and and that's very easy. What's not easy is then to call, which is what you really should do. You might think, well, if I call, what do I say? Well, once you have, so here we have this loaded up here, website design services, and here in Sales Scripter, you have this folder here for sales scripts. And here are, by the way, if I scroll down here, all those video email messages that I just showed you. And then you also have call scripts. So here's a call script, value intro, and if I just show you what this looks like, this is that exact same message. So you just sent the video email. Well, now call them, and here is a here's a call script for web design services, benefits, takeaway, questions to ask, current environment questions, pain points, talk about your product, name drop example, and close for an appointment. So everything you need to say when you call them is here. Now, it's very likely that you call them and you get their voicemail, so you should leave a voicemail message. Well, the voicemail message for website design services is right in here as well. Here's a voicemail script, value focus, if I just show you what this looks like. So here you go, here's a voicemail script. By the way, this is aligned with your video email message and it's aligned with your call script. So your messaging is all extremely consistent. So as you're leaving this voicemail message, your prospect is going to be impressed with how consistent and organized you are, as opposed to some rambling product pushing salesperson that just won't stop talking about their product. Now, after you leave your voicemail message, you should always send a voicemail follow-up email. So what you should send in that voicemail follow-up email is in here as well, because there's a folder for prospecting email messages. And if I just scroll down here, you'll see voicemail follow-up email value focus. Let me just show you what this looks like. So here is an email to send. As I mentioned in a voicemail I just left you, we help businesses to adhere all the same exact benefits that you left in your voicemail message and that you left in your video, that you shared in the video message. So again, just reinforcing your messaging. And then after you send this email message, you pause for a week, maybe pause for 2 weeks, whatever. Then you start to re-engage again, but you're re-engaging with totally different messaging. You're then re-engaging with your pain message. And so your video email is slightly different, your voicemail is slightly different, your voicemail follow-up email is slightly different. You go through that, you pause. If you re-engage again, different messaging. So I just want to show you all of that. And again, all of that is created from basically these building blocks. So that's pretty much most of what I want to share with you here today. My recommendation would be try to incorporate some sort of video email message tool. If you like Potion, check it out. Like I said, I believe for now at least they have a free version on the Google Chrome store. And if you need help with figuring out what to say, you can use this process to build out a series of messaging and messages. If this has been helpful to you and you're watching this on YouTube or any of our other videos, if you want to return the favor, you can return the favor by simply liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing. It helps us. So if we've helped you, this is one small way for you to help us. If you are looking to incorporate the smart sales system more into your process, actually, let me take a step back. What I've shown with you here today is basically part of the smart sales system. So that's our platform that we provide. And if you're curious as to what the smart sales system is, or if you like what you saw and you want to learn more or see what else we have to offer, we basically have the smart sales system. And so to quickly explain what that is the easiest way to implement or understand what the smart sales system is that it's a three-legged stool. So leg one is a sales methodology. So I've shared a lot of tips with you here today of don't be a product pusher, try to have a more professional consultative selling approach. All those tips are in the methodology of the smart sales system, which that would be leg one. You can access the full smart sales system methodology on YouTube for free. So go to our YouTube channel if you want to access that. Leg two of the three-legged stool is our software platform. So I just showed you that. That's Sales Scripter, and that provides you with basically the sales message builder to build your sales message. Once you've done that, your message is used to fill out a library of scripts, emails. You also can access CRM functionality and email automation. And then the third leg is certainly we can work with you to help you either in implementing and adopting the methodology or implementing and adopting the software platform through sales consulting, sales coaching. Here's my contact info if you have any questions.